Welcome in, Finn's Faithful. What's up to our Curtis, our final preview show of the season. The Dolphins take on the Patriots, who the Patriots will be fighting for that number one seed in the AFC, while Dolphin players and coaches will be fighting for their jobs and their futures in the NFL. Could this be Mike McDaniel's last game? What would a win actually mean? How does the Aikman stuff complicate or change things? We'll touch on the Troy Aikman hire and more. So grab a seat, buckle up for the last preview game of the season on Countdown to Game Day here. Let's dive into it. Curtis, how you doing this morning, man? It's the last one.
Yeah, you know what? I tell you, I'm a weird bird, but I mean this with all my heart. Meeting Jason and then meeting you through Jason, meeting Sammy and Lou. This was a tough season for me to do. I was almost thinking about giving this thing up. I wasn't sure if I was going to continue to do. I was tired of just the Dolphins beat down. But through it all, I think the thing I enjoyed so much, and I mean, is meeting you. You're a great dude. Jason's a great dude. Lou, I knew a little bit, but he's a really good dude, he seems. And Sammy's a great guy. It really uplifted my spirits, man. And I'm really grateful to be on the show. I've learned a lot about how you do things. I've been doing this thing longer than you, but I learned a ton from what you do. And, as a teacher in many things, getting to meet you has been fantastic. And I really, really mean that, man. So I'm grateful you had me on. I'm grateful you deal with my internet issues, although I think they might be a little bit.
Yeah, they're better. No, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. No, likewise, man. This has been. I do a lot of shows, but this is really one of my favorites, just the interaction with you and kind of the chemistry. And we're going to do more stuff in the offseason, draft stuff, and I couldn't be more thankful to do this with you. And then here's to the last one. We'll have a good one. As shout out to the chat. Guys, make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel, do it. We got a lot of stuff coming up, obviously. And give this video a thumbs up if you like me and Cap for Life's in the chat. If you like me and Curtis here. On our last one. Cap, shout out to Cap for Life in the chat. You guys built a great foundation of Fin fans. Keep pushing. It's great content from all you guys. Thank you, Cap. We appreciate it. It doesn't happen without you guys in the chat and watching. None of this happens without you guys. So that's the truth. Shout out to Daniel. Yeah, we're rooting for McDaniel, but keep riding the hamster wheel. All right. So we got difference of opinions. Jay, what's up? Let's get into it. Let's start off. Me and Jason kind of went live a little bit yesterday. Your thoughts on the Aikman hire, how this changes things, and just your thoughts on the hire in general, and do you like it?
Look, everything in life, especially from football standpoint, is mercurial. There's no 1+1. We saw the Eagles with a superstar roster a few years ago, went nowhere. You get Dan Marino's probably the greatest quarterback all time. He doesn't win a Super Bowl. You get all this stuff that you say it's going to be, and you don't know. But with the Dolphins, for me, it's the possibilities. Since I started doing this thing, I never believed we were there. I was always told I was a fool because we're going, and you got to get on board or you're a bad fan. I never really believed in possibilities. I mean, outwardly in like a long shot view, I said, maybe. But the possibility that we're going to rebuild from the core, the possibility that Ross might get somebody in here competent to run this thing, just that possibility, whatever the odds are, that's something I can sink my teeth in and smile, especially with Greer gone. So look, Aikman is – I went over on my podcast all the different consultants, and most of it doesn't go anywhere. So for me, he's a small piece of the puzzle. The best part was that I was confirmed that we had a GM search, which wasn't sure was going to happen, And so that's where I stick my foot in the ground, and that's where I'm finding my happiness. I mean, Aikman's a smart guy. He's not brilliant. He was a great quarterback. He saw Jimmy. Unbelievable framework. He's old school. He's been in media for a while. So at the very least, Ross is doing something different. And he just is a creature of habit, and his habits suck. And so at least this break in his MO, the way he does things, is something to say, all right, maybe. And so I think we got to wait and see. For me, it bought me enough space to go, all right, maybe something's different here. Maybe not. Maybe the hustle will come back on. Let's see. McDaniel's going to be a big key. What happens on Sunday is going to be a nice key, but we got to wait and see who wants to come here. And then can they, with Aikman, find him? But I'll take Aikman over no Aikman. It's his money. It's Ross's money, not mine. I wish you'd hired 15 more guys.
Yeah. So to me, I'm with you. I don't know what to exactly make of it, but it's a chance that it's something different. Maybe they learned something. It's an interesting move. I didn't expect it. It's not unprecedented. Bob Myers, the former GM of the Warriors, did it for the Commanders. Teams do this kind of stuff, but the Dolphins haven't. So, I love that they're looking outside the organization.
Mm-hmm.
This tells me that they might understand. Finally, what they've been doing hasn't been good enough. It hasn't worked. So let's tap into some of the real kind of power circles in the NFL instead of just recycling the same kind of voices they've been doing. Like now the thing is, what I find interesting is Aikman reportedly has no direct say in the future of McDaniel. But don't kid yourself. That decision kind of affects everything. It's an umbrella. I mean,
huge.
You would agree. Some GA candidates will absolutely remove themselves from consideration.
Oh, yeah.
If they're told that they have to inherit McDaniel. Yeah, I mean, I hear this a lot. It's still one of 32 jobs, right? I agree. But if their goal is to fix this and find the very, very top candidate, nothing should be off the table. But it was interesting. I was thinking last night, here's where Aikman might really matter. If Ross does decide to keep McDaniel, Aikman's value probably skyrockets even more because maybe now he can get into rooms that with some of the candidates that you couldn't before, even if you were inheriting McDaniel. This is a guy who's been in NFL locker rooms, front offices, owner suites. I mean, Curtis, the production meetings for decades, as a longtime broadcaster, he's asked those questions. People don't realize these guys meet with teams and players in depth before, the game. They go to the practices of the week, on his Monday night broadcast. He's built relationships. To me, that network alone can raise the level of candidates. Maybe if you do keep McDaniel, which, logic says no, but tea leaves could say yes, and we'll talk about that. But if you do keep him, maybe you can get a better candidate, even if that you wouldn't before. It's no guarantee, not a home run, but I think it could raise the ceiling a little bit compared to like past searches. To me, most of this signals a little bit of urgency. It's a little bit of self-awareness, a little bit of self-awareness on the part of Steve Ross. The question is simple though, Curtis. Are the Dolphins going to follow through when they get these tough answers in the meetings that they don't want to hear, or they're not comfortable with? If McDaniel really is favored to if Ross is favored to McDaniel really wants to keep him, because if they are, okay, now we might have a real change. If not, this is just Curtis. This is just another headline that happens with the Dolphins.
Yeah,
right? I mean that's how I see it.
And that's a thing to remember. We're a team that uses optics, media. And so,
narratives.
Yeah, but on the side note, if you got a GM in here and you said, hey, look, let's give McDaniel a 1-year try. If he flops, you'll get a great pick. It won't count towards your evaluation. And Ross has a tendency to hang on guys longer. And so maybe there's a sense of job stability, even if he sucks, because you might even say, hey, look, we're in cap problems here. If McDaniel's not the guy, then he's going to suck because look what the team's going to probably look like. You're going to have Ewers, who I think has potential, but let's not get crazy. And so there's a lot of backroom dealings and massaging of terms. So it might not be a death sentence. For me, though, if I was a GM, I would want to start with my own guy. But so we'll see. But maybe Aikman says, because Aikman was making fun of McDaniel. He's like, that's the worst fourth quarter I've ever seen. And so, maybe there is, but I got the feeling he's going to be back, but we'll see. And we'll see who wants to come here.
Yeah. I mean,
if you don't get top flight guys, you get guys like middle of the road or lower key. Yeah. They'll take it just to get the gig. So I don't know. That's not good either, though.
Yeah. That's the interesting thing. I mean, it is one of 32 jobs. So I know I've said on record, you're not going to get guys to come here if you inherit McDaniel. I mean, the top of the food chain. I'm not saying you can't get a candidate. It is still one of 32. But
I'll sign me. I'll do it with McDaniel.
For a lot cheaper, Ross. So But the comments by Aikman, I don't know how much weight that really has. I heard or read somewhere or heard from someone. I don't remember where that this actually was before that broadcast. He was actually brought in 2 weeks before that broadcast. So he was already kind of knew he was going to be with the organization. That's
a great point.
Yeah, what that means, I don't know. Cap brings up a good Alonzo Highsmith. Aikman has a good connection with Alonzo Highsmith. I believe that Highsmith is the head of the scouting for New England. We're going to have a show this week coming up. We're gonna break down all these candidates, these GM candidates, and I do like, Curtis, that. First of all, Brandon Short quarterbacking this thing. I remember about a year ago I got a DM about they say don't sleep on Brandon Short if there's a change made. He's a big part of this organization.
Oh yeah,
and he's quarterbacking now. He's going to be the money guy as long as he doesn't meddle in football. I'm okay with that. Kind of a similar structure like what the Rams have with Snead and Demoff. The Niners have it, so it does happen. Green Bay has it, so it does. The structure is not really different. The one is the money guy, then you have the kind of the scout. But do you like the fact that it's reported that we're looking for a scout? We're looking for a head scout, basically, our GM, who knows talent, who's got a history in scouting. Basically, like I say, Curtis, this still, first and foremost, is a talent acquisition business.
Well, there's two ways to look at it. So does Brandon Shaw have real power and they're just looking for a guy to operate on a personal level to be his second, like almost like he's the vice president, then, that could chase some people off, it's always good to have someone who knows talent, unless you have some elite personnel director, but you still want some of that as well. His son-in-laws. That's the thing. There's a lot of fingers in the pie, and like too many Chiefs or too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. So it could be an issue. Ross would really have to have like a Scrooge type wake up on Christmas morning after visited by the three ghosts to change himself 1,000%. So, it's a lot to ask. We don't know. But you want that no matter what. But sure, and the Garfunkel, they seem to be power brokers, and they're going to be involved somehow, and that could be a detriment. I don't know. Will they hand off total power, or is this going to be another corporate structure where everyone's got say? It's 3-man, and Ross's 2 men get the 2/3 of the vote. Then that wouldn't be so hot.
Let's update. Who's at the table here? It's Aikman. It's Garfinkel, it's Shore, Ross,
son-in-law,
Marino.
Nah.
Marino's
he's like at this point. Yeah, he's the liaison of the poster boy face guy. He doesn't want any of that stuff. You could tell.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of heads at that table though.
And it's you can't have that many. It's like.
But I do like that. There's an outside unbiased perspective. That now, how much is he involved? How much is Short? How much is Garfinkel involved? Who gets? Obviously, Ross has the final say. Who's the one with in Ross's ear? The last word. Is it my guess would be it's Garfinkel. You know what I mean? If I had to take a guess, what's Brandon Short role actually? So it's going to be a very interesting. Like Cap said, it's going to be a very interesting few weeks. We're going to have you covered. It's going to be. It's more interesting now. Again, I'm with you. Bottom line, it gives me a little bit of hope that they went outside the organization and that hopefully Aikman can maybe ask those tough questions that maybe Ross was uncomfortable getting into because they need it. It gives you a little hope. Again, this could be just another headline by the Dolphins.
That's it.
Depending how it works. We'll find out. I think a lot has to do with what they do with McDaniel.
Well, look, we're so desperate, just a little bit. Because, if we didn't get the Aikman thing, I'd be a little. I would have to wait to find out about the GM search. I'd be, it's kind of repeating, you know. And it probably will. Odds are that Ross is not going to fully flip over into a new man.
Right.
But take what you can get. I mean, we got rid of Greer, so I'm going to ride that high for a little bit longer too.
Yeah, I heard that Ross wants to do from a little birdie that Ross realizes he needs to do things different and has to work. But again, that would be. Let me see what he does with McDaniel. That'll give me all the answers because he's looking.
Yeah, I see Daniel, who I know he shows up on my channel. You guys want to fire McDaniel, but you can't make chicken. Well, it's a two-way street. I mean, look, McDaniel, I've said from my very first, like his first year, I said, how do you take a guy who's a green head coach, run game, not head coach, run game coordinator up in the booth, then you bring him in here, make him head coach, OC, ask him to win now, and then don't give him an offensive line. And, I believe that. I even believe Tua has been restricted by the framework. But Tua clearly is in a bad spot, so you focus on. But if you want to focus on McDaniel, he still can't get stuff in on time. He still adjusts poorly. He still it's his fourth season, and you're still seeing stuff that's green. And so I agree with Daniel. He has been restricted. But you can't have total abandonment of discipline. You can't struggle to get your quarterback to the line of scrimmage constantly when you got 5 OCs on the team. You can't have like limited play call and adjustment. It's just even his route combinations at times. Like, what is this guy doing? What is he calling? Even like the screen to Dulcich. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So
player,
well, I agree. I think, you know what, at a certain point, I don't think would I choose to have him over Vrabel? What do I want? Do I want a guy maybe with potential, or do I want the best of the best of the best?
And the thing with McDaniel is, and I shout out to Daniel. Daniel's in our chat too a lot. Look, there is McDaniel supporters, and that rightfully so. He does some things well, but it goes beyond personnel for me. Like you said, we're seeing a lot of the same mistake. His record when losing at halftime is pretty bad. The second half adjustments are awful. The in-game management that plays in on time, just the overall lack of leadership. All right, and I've said this over and over again.
Dude, he wanted easy over Zach Tom. He pounded his like. I'm not saying to kill a guy, but that's just one other thing.
His philosophy was, I can do this with Tua. We need weapons. Forget about it. We get these balls out quick. We don't need offensive line.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He was part of the personnel problem in this structure.
Yeah.
Problem is, he had a GM that probably, for his own, for the worst, would do anything the coach said. If there was a real GM in place, maybe, who would say, hey, Mike, I got to look out for the better of the organization, the better of the team. We should do it like this. And he didn't have that with Chris Greer. And now I think it's a little too late.
Yeah.
I think if they do bring him back, he's just a placeholder for the tank year. Somebody has to be.
Tankathon.
I think you said it, Curtis, right? So I understand where you're coming from, Daniel, but McDaniel, to me, it doesn't have the fabric of it has. In his past concepts, he doesn't even do. It took him this long. He didn't even do what he's really good at. Now, partly he got the job because of Tua Tagovailoa, to kind of refigure his career, if you will, or I don't know the word, kind of revitalize Tua Tagovailoa, and he did that, and that's his argument, right? If he stays, hey, Mr. Ross, I did what you asked. I probably even got Tua to places that he shouldn't have got, right? I created that. Now let me do it with my own quarterback, but it's beyond quarterback play. It's beyond. If I thought it was just that, right? Tua will have them back, but it's a lot more than that. The fabric of being a head coach. But that's my take. Now, shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. If you're watching anywhere else, come over to YouTube, hit that thumbs up, give us a little like. Don't miss any of our shows. Not only subscribe to the channel, that little bell, but turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Never forgive Daniel for pushing quarterback contract. Yeah, well, maybe that's why Brandon Short's still here. Apparently, he was the one in the building that said, "Hey guys, hold off. Maybe we should do that." All right, we're gonna get into this. We'll get into this game a little bit, right? Because it is the last game of the season. But what does this game mean for Mike McDaniel? What does a win mean? What does it look like? Because I'll give you my perspective here, Curtis. I think everything matters with Stephen Ross. I think up to the last game matters. He's looking still for reasons to keep Mike McDaniel.
He wants his blankie.
Yeah,
Shaw's not big enough a blankie.
Not reasons to move on. I think he's looking for reasons to keep him. And this game, I think the effort, the preparation, the buy-in could carry some real weight here. If they go out and upset the Patriots, who team is playing for everything, could they bring that? That's the last thing in his mind. Now, the whole Troy Aikman thing, that adds another layer of intrigue. What does that mean? It's hard to know, but I think with this situation, with the affinity that Stephen Ross has for McDaniel, we say it's just another game, decisions been made. I think everything matters up to the last minute. What do you think? What would a win mean here?
I don't think the win's the big deal because you look at their offense, it's been a juggernaut the last couple of games against some good teams. I don't think we're going to be able to keep pace with that offense up in that area. Now, for me, the evaluation is what can he, especially, and I just put a podcast out, so you might want to check it out.
Yeah, check it out, of course.
No Achane, and he's out, is great for evaluations because just like Ross has got a blankie, that's really what McDaniel's done. He creates a scheme, an idea, and he just rides it until it's worn out. And Achane's carried him to so much success this year, and he's a superstar. But he's not on the table, so it's going to force McDaniel to have to be more nuanced, more tactical. He's going to not have that easy throw or run outside and pick up for 50 or 60. So for me, their front, they're not going to have Spillane, Milton
Landry,
still out.
Landry, I think's out.
Yeah, Landry's out.
Who's their top sack guy?
Yep. So their front is semi-susceptible to the run game. I think they're ranking 26th over the last 3 weeks. Not so hot. But McDaniel's going to have to be balanced. He's going to have to be nuanced. He's going to have to – there's not going to be anything to rely on. They're fourth in the pass over the last 3 weeks. So McDaniel's got to do what he rarely ever does. He's going to have to adapt, adjust, and he's going to have a full game plan. And it's going to test this offensive line. I keep fighting with people over it. I think it lives on smoke and mirrors. First it was Waddle and then Hill. Now it's the Achane and a quick throw has been in there through the whole time. There's not going to be any of that this week. And so McDaniel will have to operate. But he doesn't have to win, but if he can make the offense look good, we've had pretty high time of possession. If he can keep this thing looking functional, then I think that's a good thing for him, whether we win or lose. I don't really see us winning. I think chances are so low. But if we end up with 10 points or 13 points, I think Ewers is the most clouded.
You still with us, Curtis? What? Curtis, I think Curtis is, I don't know if it's me or if it's Curtis went out. So let's take a look at.
I opened my mouth. See what happened, George?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was me or you. I was like, is it me?
Yeah, I didn't know either. That was me. I hit the stupid thing over here. Man, I opened my mouth.
It's all right. You want to go ahead and finish your point?
Yeah, the point is that, look, yours should get evaluated. His is the most difficult because it's the most dependent position in sports. But McDaniel is pulling this thing together with this offensive line, and he's got to be semi-coherent. You can't score 10 or 13 points. Right. You can't. And you're not having Achane to bail you out. So I think that's it. What does he do on offense? Does the defense quit? Are they functional? If they get blown out, some crazy number, don't put points on. That's bad.
Yeah, it's almost like what's the last thing that happens? It's with Stephen Ross. What's the last thing in his mind?
I don't think it matters to Stephen Ross, but it might matter to the rest of the crew.
Yeah. Well, it matters to perception.
That's all he
doesn't like to be embarrassed. But I actually think the Dolphins will be motivated in this game. To me, this is our last countdown to game day. This is our last preview show. This game is not about scheme, matchup, analytics. It's about pride, effort, fighting for jobs for the Dolphins. Rip up the papers that we love to do. There's no logical reason the Dolphins should win this game. You mentioned the injury list is brutal. Almost all the top offensive guys are out. Right?
Oh, yeah. And even Jordan was talking about Waddle with those ribs. That Vrabel's got a picture of Waddle up on his wings, on the defensive meeting. Guys, that's the ribs. Hit it.
Yeah. So those guys, defensive players are out, right? Not just on the offense. This game makes no sense for the Dolphins, but I think they'll be motivated. I think there's young players that are fighting if they belong in the league. Quinn Ewers should be motivated. Theo Weiss Jr. should be motivated. Jalen Wright, they're staring at massive opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
These snaps matters for these guys. They're putting themselves not for the Dolphins. This is their future. This is their career. Players are also fighting for contract.
Oh, yeah. But there's a difference between motivation.
Bradley Chubb. No, there's not much more motivation than the moolah. What's the Bradley Chubb? What does he need to get? They got to finish
point 17th or something like that.
Right. And the big question is, truly, does they want Mike McDaniel to stay? Do they want to leave are they going to fight all 60 minutes? Meanwhile, the Patriots got everything to play for. But we did say the same thing last week with the Bucs, who had everything to play for.
Listen. When I was a kid in high school, there was a girl, Jen Bruno. The girl looked like she's about 4 or 5 years older than.
You remember the name, so
dude. Everybody remembered the name. Dude, this girl was like in another universe, and I always wanted to date her. I always wanted it, man. I tried to be as cool as I could. She was like 2 years older. Dude, she doesn't even remember these guys can want it. This is it. Look, if Brooks is out or whatever, that's, you got Mink out. But on offense, Achane, just like Waddle and Hill, sets the leverage, creates a totally different framework for how the defense is going to play with him in and out. And Ollie and Wright are going to experience something. This whole offense is going to experience something. So they're going to have to want it more than I wanted Jen Bruno, and that was a lot. So I don't believe the will is going to be there.
Jen Bruno, look what you missed out. He's
let me tell you something, man.
Jen Bruno.
It was something. Even the teachers, it was so bad, dude. The male teachers, you would see them. Even like I was junior. I was in high school, and like
Jen Bruno. Do you know what she's up to? Jen Bruno, we'll get you on the show.
I think my friends and I tracked her into our 20s or something. Maybe somebody talked to her in like the 30s. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to that yet. But
don't let your wife find out about Jen Bruno.
No.
She doesn't watch the show anyway.
Oh, dude.
Somebody brought up the Cam Miller signing. This is another thing that confuses me about the McDaniel stuff, because the quarterback they signed. But teams do this at the end of the season. They want to secure guys for the roster in 26. So on one hand, they don't have many quarterbacks on the roster. On the other hand, this guy's a West Coast kind of Mike McDaniel quarterback. So was this Mike saying, "Hey, let's poach this guy"?
They're kicking the tires. Yeah, they're kicking tires. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta add something. Oh yeah. So, who was it? Somebody said even the teachers. Oh yeah. Dude, I had this guy, Mr. Collins. And he had like these glasses and he looked like Groucho Marx, and his hands were always like red for some reason, but they were always extra red when she came in. And he always had to be like the helper. Oh, it was bad, man. It was bad. I still remember it now. I got
to see a photo of this Jen Bruno. We all have one of those. We all have one of those. One that we never got.
I don't know, man. This one was like otherworldly. It was like Aphrodite came down and decided to hang out in my high school.
You didn't close though, huh, Curtis? You couldn't close.
What happened?
You couldn't close the deal, though, huh?
No, come on. She was like 2 years older, dude. I had like buck teeth and, the hair part of the side. I mean, she was out of here. I could have been a roach next to her. I might have got more action.
All right, Jen Bruno, if you're watching, come on out. Curtis still remembers you. Come on the show.
Everybody does. So his teachers still remember.
Her husband is probably not too happy about it. But, all right. So, I mean, we talked about McDaniel, the impact. Do you think McDaniel's coached his last game here? Because logic tells me, and shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are being great. It's early. It's 11 a.m. in the morning. We appreciate it. Make sure. Let's see those thumbs up. Let's get some thumbs up on this video.
No, Jordan, I had long hair, dude. My hair was so long. Haircutters used to say, you're never going to lose your hair. I was like, yeah, I'm never losing my hair. I didn't lose until I was like 34. I got married by that sort of kid. Nah, those were the days. Jen Bruno and long hair.
The Dolphins
those were the days.
And a quarterback? And a Dolphin and a quarterback and the Dolphins winning?
Oh yeah, the Dolphins had Marino too. So
yeah.
Rock and roll times.
All right, let's get this show back on the rails.
Yeah. Sorry, I got
no, it's great. I'm Googling Jen Bruno as soon as this show's over. So do you think McDaniel's coached his last game here? Logic says yes to me. Ross wants to do something different, and the pass hasn't worked, and half measures aren't the answer. But then there's the other side. Though McDaniel just feels comfortable. Like even his comments yesterday about the Aikman thing, like, yeah, I was involved. I know about it. I'm not too worried about it.
He's coming back, dude.
Yeah, like he doesn't look like somebody who's coaching for his job or worried about his job. That could be him just putting up a front. And I told you the Cam Miller, just little things like the Cam
he's
Miller
an
stuff.
actor. I always thought he was more genuine, but he's learned.
I never thought he was genuine. Nobody can try to be that funny and try to hit one-liners ever. From day one, I knew he wasn't. Not that he's an ingenuine person or a bad person, but like his little shtick, it's just not genuine. Somebody who tries to land jokes like that all the time.
That's fair.
It's not normal. It's not normal. But even the Cam Miller signing kind of threw me off. Like there's little things, right? TVs. Again, it could be nothing. This is what makes the situation so strange to me. Logic says one thing, but the organization and the feel I get is another. I'm 50-50 right now, to be honest. I'm very curious what happens. If I told you, is this McDaniel's last game? Does the result matter at all?
I don't know. I call him the canary in a coal mine. I think he's back. But the Aikman thing did shake my feeling on evaluation.
It adds a level.
But then I don't know what's genuine, what's not. So, and the Shoreman and the Garfunkel are in here. So who knows?
Yeah, and who knows? And who knows? Aikman's here. He's getting a good check. I mean, he doesn't care if McDaniel stays or not. He's going to give you the best candidates that want to come here. And if McDaniel stays, you're probably going to get a less of a pool. If he goes, the pool might widen. But at the end of the day, he collects his check, Aikman. He's done. It's a temporary role for him. Again, this is not
all the world is a stage we are merely plays, but no more is that so true as acting and in the NFL.
Yes, very good. I think if we get blown out, he's gone. If we win or keep it respectable, he says. I mean, that's crazy that we're on the fence and that could matter besides the body of work. I mean, the decision should be already made.
But he's already got a pre-planned excuse. He's got the rookie quarterback, no HN, Mink is out. Boss, like tattoo. Boss, the plane, boss. No players. Come back, God, McDaniel, come back.
You got your literature ready for the end of the show, right?
Yeah, I do.
All right, should we take a look a little bit about the matchup here? We won't go too crazy in it, but we'll play our over-under game, but it's going to be probably just Quinn Ewers because we don't know who's playing. But let's look at the tail of the tape of these two teams. Again, Patriots, you look at total offense, they're fourth in the league. Dolphins are 25th. I mean, just look at the numbers. Everything's in single digits. Passing offense, 3 versus the Dolphins are 25th. Rushing offense, 13th. But I think that's the key here is their two-headed monster attack sets everything else up. We're 10th in rushing offense. We soared up these last 6 or 7 games. Scoring offense, they're 5th. They put points up. Sacks allowed, they're 26th in sacks allowed. Third down offense, they're 7th. I mean, look at all the numbers. Passing defense, they're in the 10th. Rushing defense, they're in 8th. Scoring defense, they're 5th. I mean, it looks like on paper a lopsided game. But Curtis, you talked about the last 3 weeks. Their defense. And I think for the Dolphins, to me, you can explain this and how your chart is, but I look at the 167.7. I think the Dolphins have any chance. If you care about a win or loss in this game, they gotta have a big day on the ground.
100%. And not the way that we've been doing it. It's gonna have to be interior.
Yeah. So
unless he does 50 jet sweeps, which is possible.
So explain this chart. This is the defense the last 3 weeks. So on the left is probably their current average, and the right is the last 3 week average. Am I correct?
Yeah. Defensive total defensive yards allowed 17th, us 25th. Which is a bad combo because they're 4th, I think, in yards on offense. So that's a bad one. Defensive pass yards allowed 4th and 30th. That's bad because Ewers is not going to be able to throw himself to a victory. They're very good at that. Defensive rush yards allowed. That's where they've given up 167.7. You got to figure they played Lions and they played the Bills.
Yeah.
So that's hyper. It's so sort of inflated. We're 8th, 125 and 97. Sacks, APG, I think figured that wrong. But they're really not good at sacking. 1.9.
They don't pressure a lot. They're one of the lower teams in pressure rate.
Yeah.
Sack rate. They're one of the lower. I think their top guy is out, Landry. So you should have time to throw the ball. When this stands out to me is the Dolphins' run defense. The last 3 weeks and versus the Patriots' run defense. To me, that's the key here. If you want to pull an upset, again, some people it matters the Dolphins to win this game. They just love – they're not these hardcore guys who get into the numbers like we do, and they just care about wins and losses and enjoying the game. If you do, I think running the ball both ways is the key to this game.
100%, but it's tied to time of possession because a fresh defense makes plays. A tired defense gives it up. Yeah, but that, what's it going to look like without Achane?
Yeah,
and they're 13, so they're doing pretty good themselves, especially, over the last day. They was actually pretty poor, 28.40, and then they moved it to 30. And then, but third down defense, they're weak on that, 6.7. We're sort of, unfortunately, I think their offense is first or third or something like that in first downs.
They're in every offense. I'm surprised how good Drake May's been. I'm shocked, honestly.
I thought last year I got a lot of heat because I said he was like Josh Allen light, and then
you're right on. And the receivers are not great either. They don't have a lot of guys you can separate. I mean, they have obviously Diggs and the Hunter Henry.
Well, how long will they have Diggs?
Yeah, true. Pat's offense. Here you go. You explain this.
This is rough because you got to combine the offense and the defense, and so total offensive yards 426, third, and there's some pretty good defenses they faced. Rush attempts 13th, so they're running that football. They've kind of always stuck to it. Rush yards 5th, 160 over the last couple of weeks. Pass yards 10th. 266 was not super high, but the average, I think, up until a couple of weeks, it was only 224. So they're doing pretty good. They got a good combo over here. Sacks allowed's a little high, 3-0 and 2-7. May has a tendency to hold the ball. We've been kind of getting after it a little bit. They don't have super potent receivers, so maybe we could blitz a little bit more. But first down's 4th, 23.7. And that is going to be a rough one because if you look at our defense, we stop teams that don't rush a lot, but when they rush a lot every week, when they're high in those attempts, we lack depth. They get tired, and then mentally they make mistakes. They miss their fills. They miss their gap control, and so that's how it can break it open to be ugly. And Ramondre Stevenson, you don't want that guy getting too many carries. That's going to win. It's going to be 27 degrees, so every hit is like 2 hits. So it's going to be tough. That's why I don't see us winning.
They got a two-headed monster back there with Henderson. Yeah. I loved Henderson coming out. He's the big play guy.
He's playing this week, right?
I believe so.
It was like a concussion thing, but I think he is back.
It's a good thing you brought up the injury report. Let me bring that up because for the Dolphins, it's basically Fitzpatrick's out, Achane's doubtful. Here's the questionable list. What a list of guys are questionable. Aaron Brewer, Jordan Brooks, Austin Jackson, Chop Robinson, Jason Sanders, Jalen Waddle. Yep. I think what's the point of playing these guys? I would say the majority of these guys probably don't play. This could be it's interesting. And Darren Waller's already on IR. So a lot of young players are going to get an opportunity here. For the Patriots, we mentioned Harold Landry's out with the knee. He's their best pass rusher. He had 8.5 sacks for them. Spillane, the linebackers, their best linebacker.
Yep.
Tonga, the defensive tackle.
Big guy, too.
Big. They need him in the middle. Probably why a lot of their rushing defensive stats went down. Jared Wilson, the rookie guard, is in concussion protocol. He's questionable. But for New England, here's what they're playing for. They clinched the AFC's number 1 seed in a lone first-round bye and home field advantage. They win and a Denver loss or tie, or they tie and Denver loses. So they're playing for everything. They want that number 1 seed.
Oh, yeah, they're giving it.
That's big. But I do think the Dolphins.
If they lose and the Chargers win, who breaks that one? Do you know?
If they
don't sweat it.
If they lose,
because Jacksonville.
I think they stay at 2.
Okay, so they're fighting for the 1.
Yeah. Look, I always love the graphic too. And shout out to the comments here. Patriots had it easy. Yeah, that's true. Let's talk about that for a second. The Patriots did have an easy schedule, but still, what you put in front of them, they took care of, and they're well coached. The quarterback has been 71% completion percentage, leading the league. That's going to be the highest even over Brady. I think Brady's top was 68%. The quarterback's been playing out of his mind. The defense, Vrabel system they brought in, It's been an easier schedule. Maybe you can put a few wins, but Curtis, this team is still formed though. This is one of the.
Well, didn't we have the easiest schedule last year?
Yeah,
what do we do?
Yeah, great point. They won't happen. The Chargers are good point, Jordan. The Chargers are sitting their starters. If Jags win and New England lose, if Jags win and New England loses,
thanks, brother.
Thank you, Jordan.
Good.
These guys are smarter than us.
No, man, I like it.
Yeah, so that's even more of an incentive that New England has to win this game.
Oh yeah, they're coming.
So yeah, they're going to be coming. This is different than the Bucs, right? The Bucs needed to win that game. They lost, but this is a better, more talented. This is a better football team than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Bowles versus Vrabel.
Bowles versus Vrabel. Yeah. They're definitely a good team. Not trying to. Agree. Schedule might have something to do with it, but we've had easy schedules before, and look what happened.
I don't think they're a great team. I think they're a good team, but for year one, man, I
don't think they're.
I hate it, man. I hate that. I actually felt I have been away from that. The fanatic, zealous fan thing, but this thing got activated again. I'm tired of these guys.
Yeah, they're back at it, man. We got a break from it, and they figured it out, and they got the right coach. They found the quarterback. Man, as simple as that. You hit on a quarterback, you hit on a coach, things get easier. Dolphins, we should learn. It's that simple. But you got to have conviction. You got to be bad. You got to pick in the top 5, or you got to have conviction to go up and get a guy. And that's conviction. We've heard that word a lot. But I want conviction in the personnel department more than the coaching department. I want somebody who identifies the guy and goes gets him. Whether you think that's Mendoza, we're gonna have plenty of draft shows. I know everybody loves Mendoza. I still have my questions about him, and I can't wait to do an intensive, extensive dive. And I'm going to be curious, Curtis, when we talk about those quarterbacks. I want to have you on, Curtis, your opinion on them too when you really dig into it. I'll dig into it, but I'm not comfortable giving my stamp of approval until I really, really put in the research 100%. That's coming. I announced on Twitter we got the Fins Faithful, the Dolphins War Room is going to be our draft show specials, and we're going to have that rolling out here soon. We're going to have over 120, 150 player profiles, all the good stuff. The big board's coming back. So if you guys are not subscribed to this channel, do it now for the draft season. I'm telling you, this is where my most passion is. So maybe I know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't. My big board worked out pretty well last year. But we're going to have you covered, and guys like Curtis are going to be on it. So make sure you're staying.
Yeah, I haven't really dug into the draft in like 3 years.
It's hard when you're doing it's really hard when you're doing 2 or 3 shows a week.
I usually get my vacation right after the Super Bowl, and it's like, you're right, this never ends. So I'm old, man.
I know. It's I'm not buying the DSG. I'm not buying the Patriots. Hard to do it next year. True. We've seen it happen before. We've seen it here with the Dolphins. First year head coach, win 10 games with Gase, McDaniel, and then the next year they got figured out. So again, they have a year of tape on them going into next year, and maybe the schedule's a little harder. Who knows? But anyways, no excuses. Draft Jake Rodriguez in this thing. Don't worry, we'll get into all that good stuff. The last one I want to bring up the chart. Curtis, you do a great job sending me these things. This is the PFF grades. Taking a look. Obviously, we don't know if Waddle's going to play. Gordon, you see the green again, the color code. The greens are your higher rated guys, right? And then you get to yellow, then red as it gets darker. It's like Save and I is still 80th out of 80 guard in the league. But what stands out when you look at this? Gordon, A-Chain's the number 1 back in PFF. Gordon 62. Austin Jackson and Paul the same kind of grade. And look at Dr. Chichich. What stands out when you watch this? Yeah. What stands out when you look at this, Curtis?
Well, I put the green box around Meyer because I'm thinking Brewer might play, but if not, it's
I thought Meyer played well. He had his moments, but I thought he played well last game.
Yeah, I mean,
there was flashes. It was inconsistent, but
yeah. I mean, he was going against Vita Vea, and that's one of his weaknesses against power. So you got to qualify that. But they're not going to have the same ability to run outside zone. So he's going to be demanded to move guys more inside zone. I think he's going to struggle with that, especially with the strange one next to him. And even Joan on his other side. And then, obviously without H-Chan, the red box is like, wow, that's huge. And then if you just pull Waddle out, man, how is that going to even work?
Yeah, I don't know I don't know what they'll do. They're going to have to be on heavy load of Jalen Wright, Ollie Gordon, Dolcic, and the Theo Weiss Jr. to Quinn Ewers training camp connection is going to have to be an all-time high, Curtis, because I don't know what they'll do.
So yeah, it's too. They got because you got Gonzalez back there. They got that safety.
Hawkins is really good.
I mean, it's going to be really tough. But they have vulnerabilities, but it's all going to start with the inside run game. But the Strange one, and even Meyer and Brewer and Jonah, they're just not really power guys. They're not really able to drive with consistency. And Jackson can't either. Paul can, so.
Paul's been good, but I think quietly he's dropped off a little bit during the season.
Yeah, but I don't think he's the guy that you want an outside zone. For me, it would be an inside zone heavy game, have him at right tackle, and that's what I would do, So, it's going to be crazy if Ewers got to go with this. It's really going to obscure his evaluation the most. So that's why I think McDaniel's got to play conservative. He's got to play patient. He's got to play short and long ball. It's going to be real tough.
Yeah,
real tough.
Shout out to Ken Sean.
My man Sharif, man, he comes on with the lives with me, man. It's been a while.
But welcome to the Fins Faithful. Curtis has been a part of here. You check out Curtis. Appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Dolcic over 14 or so. You might be right, Jordan. You might be right. And the other last graphic here is the defense of the, Jones, a nice little nickel corner, man. I like Jones. He's really good. Obviously, have Carlton Davis.
I'm surprised. Gonzalez looks like he struggled. What was that?
When I saw that too, it surprised me because my perception of how he played this year is better. But he's still a heck of a player, especially against the receivers. If it's no Waddle, they should have no problem there.
He was really hurt to start the season, so it might be a lingering thing.
He used to cover Tyreek Hill so well.
I know.
It was crazy. And look at their defensive, their interior. I mean, that D-line's it's not good. You can push those guys around, right? That interior, no Spillane, no Landry, their best edge rusher.
And Milton's still out.
Milton's out. Milton, they got from the Eagles this offseason, and you look at Hawkins. I was watching some film on Hawkins. He's underrated player. Underrated.
It's amazing. They got rid of Peppers. They moved off
Woodson.
of
I'll tell you about Woodson. I liked Woodson coming out of Cal in the draft, and they're really good at always drafting safeties, though. They're excellent at that. So that's the game plan. All right, let's get some keys to the game. I know. We got to go through the motions here and do the keys to the game. I'll start. I said it before. There's a trend with the Patriots running game. We have Waddle, A-Chain's out. Waddle might be out. Wallace on the IR. This offensive line front's got to reset the line, and they're going to have to – Wright's going to have a big game, Gordon, and they're going to have to do the opposite on the other side of the field. I think they're going to have to control that two-headed monster backfield of Stevenson and Trevian Henderson, the rookie, and I think force them into passing situations and don't let Drake May kind of beat you with the off-script stuff. Stay with those receivers. I mean, they have Diggs. Their next lead receivers, they're tight end Hunter Henry. So, they don't have big weapons. I'm surprised how many passing yards they have. That's how well and accurate Drake May's been playing. But
and McDaniel's calls.
Yeah, gosh. Yes.
That guy's elite, dude.
Yeah, dude. The things he's done.
He finds stuff. He just
again. He's way not a head coach. Not a head coach.
No. That guy's a social idiot.
Some guys are assistant managers. Some are managers. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But he's elite in that role. But I think McDaniel one day might be in that Josh McDaniel umbrella. Like some guys don't have the fabric to be a head coach.
Yeah. He might never even make it to the OC level of McDaniel.
Yes. Head coach is much more than X's and O's. You got to have all that stuff. But more importantly, you got to lead a group of men. And you have to have them believe in you.
What do you mean? Woody Allen's not good? Yeah, when I think about it, dude, I feel like this could have been a movie. Like all of a sudden, like an NFL football team, they can't find a coach and they call Woody Allen in to run the team. Hey guys, like what the heck is this?
Shout out to Gerald Johnson in the chat. Me too, brother. Just had a good year.
Oh, brother.
Shout out to everybody out. We got some new faces in here today. Make
Nice.
sure you guys are subscribed, thumbs up. We got a lot of content coming up. You check out our old stuff. We had a Troy Aikman video. Me and Jason Sarni yesterday. We dropped it. Check it out. Tomorrow, of course, our last post-game show of the season. We are live right after the game tomorrow. The best post-game show to me. We're gonna have probably Frank the Tank on, hopefully, and a bunch of
that
guys.
guy's great.
So we're gonna send it off right tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Put on the notifications. More importantly, Curtis, it's not just subscribe. Turn on the notification bell of the channel so you get alerted. You don't have to worry about it, miss anything. Make sure you guys check out the Curtis from Ace Per Head is on here. Hell yeah. You're bringing in a crowd today on the last preview show of the season, Curtis. So
they want to see the old man.
Yeah, it's been a blast. I'm so all right. So your keys to the game, Curtis. You say Dolphins pull this upset. We're looking Sunday evening and
dude, I'm betting on Lotto if they win.
How does it happen? How does it happen? Give me the path.
A nuclear bomb comes down and hits the Patriots team and evaporates everybody but the ball boys. I don't see it happening.
So no key. There's no key. It's just not happening.
No. Look, for me, a win is keeping it relatively close and respectable, at least until the third quarter. That means you got to run that football. You've got to pound Ollie Gordon and right in there. You've got to play small ball. You know what's last week it was a brilliant play. You see Achane do the little in and out and come back. Like, where's that been? That stuff I've been talking about. He doesn't know how to call small route combination. He's got to have the designs. You watch McDaniel's, he knows when to call the screen. He's got these little route combination rubs over and unders and pick up five. McDaniel, he's got to get some of that. You've got to, it's going to be small ball. They're not going to let Waddle beat you. And you're not going to have the leverage because you don't have Hill and you don't have Achane. And they're going to lay the wood on those ribs on Waddle. And if he's not there, it's going to be compressed leverage. So you're going to have to use a can opener and open them up in the middle. That's what it's going to come down to. Or else this thing will be so disrespectful, it'll be ugly.
And the Patriots are one of those middle of the field close to it. They play the middle of the field a lot. You know what I mean? And that's where the Dolphins probably need to hit. And our weakness is outside the hashes, so it doesn't bode well. But again, I think you're right. They're going to, like Jordan said, bubble screens galore, tight end galore. The running backs.
World record for bubble screens and jet screens and triple reverses.
And they're going to have career games on getting right on the board. The offensive line, they're going to have to dominate the line of scrimmage in this game. That's a lot to ask.
Yeah.
So let's get a bold prediction of the game, Curtis. I'll start. Bold prediction. I think the Dolphins keep this game closer. We got Jonathan Coopy on the Mike McDaniel fan club is in the house. Hopefully bring any of your friends with you here. You were sure he can. True, Jordan, much better than Tua. I still wouldn't call it a strength of his, though. I'm here driving, bro. Shout out to Jonathan. All right, so
hey, brother,
I'm gonna bold prediction. Dolphins keep this game close. I think they're motivated. Doesn't mean I think they'll win, but I think the number's 11. I think they lose, but by less than 11. Dolphins keep it close. Jalen Wright, big game, over 100 yards. Give me a bold prediction.
McDaniel will be smart enough in the first and second quarter to actually still be able to run the ball in the third quarter, and he'll have 28 carries. Because this could be a 14, 15-point carry game, and then that would be like, ugly. So I don't believe it's going to actually happen, but I might as well be bold or go home. So McDaniel won't be stupid and run that ball early enough and keep it. So 28 carries.
Jordan Murray, bold prediction. Dante Trader picks it. Yeah, give us your bold predictions or predictions in the chat. He's already taking shots at yours. I like Quinn. Quinn is a lot better than Tua outside the numbers, but that's setting the bar real low, man. Part of the reason they benched Tua, and I will give McDaniel this credit. I thought it was nonsense when he said Ewers gives him a better chance to win, but the way Tua was playing, he might be right, because defenses really didn't have to play that part of the field. It was affecting the offense, and so now Ewers is better at that, but the bar's been set low with Tua. Like, I don't think you wouldn't say that's Quinn Ewers' strength is throwing outside the numbers. Like, I don't think that's his strength, unless you disagree, Curtis.
No, but I think that the games we played, first he went against the Bengals.
Yeah.
And they lit us up, but that was the easiest
defense.
Yeah. And then even Tampa is been struggling mightily, and they were down, guys. This is going to be the test. This is like a true test. And I think, honestly, I think that Tua would do better in this situation because he is a veteran. I don't think he would win the game, but this is going to be a very tough test. If Ewers does what he did the first two starts this week, then I think that's a huge sign. But this could be a game where he craps out because of missing H-in and whatever else. So, but I like what I see from the kid, but it's a long way from here to there.
Yeah, it's a long way from what he is now to what you need to be to actually chance at this thing,
or even to get the evaluations to stick. Because first off, he's going to go into next season and they'll have some tape, and then he'll get 2 or 3 more games, and then he's going to have to the tape's going to catch up with them, and he's going to have to overcome it. So there's at least 6, 7, 8 games that you need. And the first 2 starts showed enough that I want to see more, but you need to let a long period of film run and then have the tape catch up and then have him overcome it before you can crown him.
Also, in this system, if Mike's brought back, I like him in the system. He's very
he works.
He works.
I just hate the system.
But sometimes the system makes these guys that we think don't look so good 100 rated passers. Right?
Oh yeah.
That's the problem where it kind of clouds everything. But in
like the offensive line.
Yeah, same thing. So it'd be interesting if you change head coaches in philosophy. Guys who we think are good, like Aaron Brewer in a gap run system, not going to be Aaron Brewer that you see now. So it'll be interesting if they do change. So I want to say, Jonathan, all right, we are friends, Jonathan and I, believe it or not, all right? You know what? I changed my answer. We're reading the pages to prove George's. Look, in this system, I think you have at least a backup quarterback here. That's saying a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what the final answer is going to be on Quinn Ewers. If you're asking me to project him and give you my answers, I think you have a guy in this system that can fill in and start and be a backup. I like what I've seen from a 22-year-old rookie. There's something there. Again, could he prove and be more? Absolutely. But my best guess is that, right? And that's what I do is I try to be real and honest. That's my best guess. There's something there for a 7th-round pick quarterback. That's a home run. Home run.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you have to always, anytime you're evaluating a player, you evaluate the player and his production, but then you have to attach the value associated to get the full evaluation. You look at a guy and say, this guy sucks, but you paid a 6th-round pick for him, or 4th-round pick, or a 5th-round pick, and he's a good backup. That's much different than if he's a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd.
You get a backup quarterback and anywhere on day 3 of the draft, that's excellent. Those guys make $6 to $10 million.
Oh, yeah.
They're valuable. Shout out to Stainless Ninja. What's Troy Aikman really for? We'll find out, right? Is it a paycheck? Is it? I think he's here for his connections, an outside perspective, maybe somebody to say, hey, no, you guys are looking at this wrong. That's what I hope he's here for. We talked about it at the top of the show. His connections around the league, not just playing, but in broadcasting. But again, how does this change the McDaniel situation? We'll see. But I think he's here for another set of eyes, and he's probably been played pretty well. So, right, you agree, Curtis? That's basically what we're hoping for, right? He should have.
Yeah, been. I mean that's it. Jonathan said I like Shuck. I thought he was gonna be good. I just thought I didn't like the injury. He's got a much bigger arm. He's more mobile. Tools.
You put Shuck, he can run. He's like a 4'6", 4'7" guy. Shuck had the injuries, but he was highly recruited coming out of high school, right? Shuck, if you put in a prototype, looks like an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, there's stuff there with Troy. I mean, there is quarterback 1 ability. There's 1st-round talent, top 10, top 15 talent. You look at his physical attributes.
And he doesn't have a great offense over there.
Yeah. So yeah, he's been good. The question for the Saints, going off topic, is are they going to look at a quarterback here? Or are they just going to run with Shuck because they're going to be picking high? So that'll be interesting. I don't think, unless you're looking at maybe Mendoza or Dante Moore if he comes out, you might want to roll with Shuck, see what you got in 26.
If you had a quarterback, I'd pick it. If it was me, I'd pick a quarterback.
I still would pick a quarterback. You don't want to go in there and rely on – don't make a quarterback you think could be good. take you for one, you think you'd be great.
Oh yeah, because next, if you're the Saints, let's say you're the Saints, you draft a quarterback, Shuck comes and plays next year, you build up the talent around him. If he performs like he did this year, or even a little bit better, and you like the quarterback behind him, you just move Shuck for a high pick. You probably get a first-round pick for him, or a basket of middle-round picks. You've already increased your expenditures, and then you go on to this guy. Because Shuck's got the injury history too, so I would definitely do it.
Jordan, two names you bring up are interesting, and I like Nussmeier more last year than I do this year, but Nussmeier in this offense, pretty good. If you get him, his value's down, he's not third or fourth. Alar is the traits guy. I'm looking, two guys I like, Alar and Taylor Green, because if we're going to take a little lotto ticket on a quarterback this year, if we're going to take one high, I want somebody with size, ability, arm strength, it's weatherproof. This is what I'm looking for at the position. I want a lotto ticket a little bit. Maybe, again, these guys are more risk and they don't hit, but I want a chance at ceiling at that position if we're going to take a shot in the middle rounds, because there's still questions, are we going to move up, in the first round and take one in the first round? I don't know. This is a very thin class. Mendoza, I still have my questions on. He's a heck of a player. Again, I'm going to get into the tape with him, and we'll get into all the draft stuff. But Mendoza and Dante Moore, if he comes out, it's a thin group. It depends who comes out. But in those middle rounds, I like those names, Alar, Taylor Green. I don't know about you, but Curtis, I want to change. We talk about change of philosophy in the front office or hiring process. I want to change the philosophy at the quarterback position.
Oh, you got to.
Yeah.
Until you get an Allen or Mahomes,
you're dealing with
something close.
You're dealing with May and Allen in your division. You need something to come off the bus that looks like that to win, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree too. I think, look, even if he just plays well next year and you've got a quarterback in your range, take it. More is, if they're successful and they're competent, it's an asset. It's easy to move, Yeah,
I absolutely agree with you. All right, so let's do a quick over-under. We're only going to do Quinn Ewers because we don't know who the heck is playing this game. Yeah. This is the last game. So we're going to do a Quinn Ewers special over-under. You can play along in the chat. Quinn Ewers over-under 196.5. The under has hit 2 out of the 3 this season.
Under.
I'm going to go under as well. 0.5 touchdown. So will he get a touchdown pass in this game? The under's hit 2 out of 3. I'll go over.
I think so. I'll give him one over.
You get one to Dolcic. 28.5 pass attempts. The under's hit 2.3. I think that's under.
Well, I'm gonna what do they call it? Something in the betting thing. I'm not much of a bettor, but I'm gonna cover both positions. I said
you're gonna cover
the long shots, McDaniel going 28 rushes. But I'm gonna do this one practically. I think he's gonna have over 28 throws.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
That's why you win on both sides.
Yeah, we're on both sides. What the heck? 3 push. Okay. All right. So small over under because we don't know who's playing this game. Final score prediction. I'll go with the Dolphins 24-17. Patriots win. Closer than we think.
What was that again?
24-17 Patriots. A little closer than we. I know. I think they'll be motivated, but I just think sometimes you play motivated with these younger guys. They got a lot to play for.
34-17. I might be shooting high.
Yeah, it's probably more likely when you said, I don't know, it's just a feeling of mine.
Well, Yeah,
guys, put your score prediction in the chat. Boy, let's end it here with the classic literature, the last literature of the Countdown to Game Day show, and then we'll send off right. But go ahead, Curtis, the floor is yours. So if you guys haven't tuned in, make sure you're tuning in now. Curtis, give our last speech.
Sweet. I got up my game for this last one. I set it up when I talked about Ricardo Montalban. So I was gonna do a full quote of Wrath of Khan, but I'm gonna go from its original, the original quote where it came from, in Herman Melville. So towards thee I roll, all thou destroying but unconquering whale. To the last I grapple with thee. From hell's heart I stab at thee. For hate's sake I spit my last breath at thee. Sink all coffins and all heroes to one common pool. And since neither can be mine, let me then tow to pieces while still chasing thee. Tied to thee, thou damned whale, thus I speak up the spear. Harpoon was darted. The stricken whale flew forward. With igniting velocity, the line ran out. Ahab stooped to clear it. He did clear it, but the flying turn caught him round the neck, and voiceless as the Turkish mutes bowstring their victim, he was shot out of the boat ere the crew he knew was gone. Next instant, the heavy eye-spliced rope along the gunwale snapped in the sea and was gone. The boat drifted back. The whale again came tumbling alongside it, but the sea broke over him. In the moment, the boat was no more. The great shroud of the sea rolled on as it rolled 5,000 years ago. And so I use that one because, Greer was my guy, was my whale, and I didn't go down with him. He went down. But I'm also hoping that Ross isn't like Ahab, bound to chasing whatever foolishness he's chased. Yeah. I'm praying that we fans don't chase the hype again this season, that we don't die like Ahab. I'm praying that, like, oh man, I can't remember their names now. It's been a while. The Indian guy on a boat with the main character, they escape back to the sea as they let the maniac who is addicted to killing the whale die so they could live with wisdom. So I'm hoping for a new era. I'm hoping we don't go down like Ahab to Moby Dick. And that's my take.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope they finally realize that we got the whale, but we need another whale here. Not a whale. What is he? A shark? I mean something. But yeah, that's the key, and we'll see. It's if they keep Mike, it's nothing against Mike. To me, they haven't learned anything. Even though
no. Yeah, I think so.
Aikman will be window dressing. There'll be another Dolphins headline. So that's what we hope. That I'm 50-50 on it, Curtis. To be honest, it's going to be interesting. If news breaks tomorrow or Monday, we'll be live here on the Fins Faith, so make sure you're sticking with us. Our post-game show is tomorrow, right after the game, last one of the season. Tune in to us. This is, to me, I know it's patting myself. I think we have the best group on the post-game show. Curtis, if you're watching,
I'll be there, brother. I promise.
The last one of the season. So tune in tomorrow to us. But I just want to say on the way out here, Curtis, let's do this shit again next year. It was fun. It was a pleasure knowing you, then getting to work with you. You're even a better person than you are. Kind of a YouTube podcast.
Can you tell my wife that?
Yeah, I'll try. It was a pleasure working with you, and same. I can't wait to continue to build this relationship. It's sad because I really love this show. Like, you could talk about numbers or this and that, but this was probably one of my favorite shows to do with you. And I think people who did watch it hopefully do watch it because they're missing out. And let's do it again next year. 2026, great health, all prosperity and all the great things. And hopefully the Dolphins get it right. And I'll give you the last word here, Curtis, to send us out on our last show of the season.
Yeah, everything you just said is what I feel back. I should definitely be back. Whether I continue doing this or not, you're a friend, Jason, Sammy, and the rest. So I'm grateful, and I'm looking forward to do this again. And it's a blast. You make it easy. You're already blasting past me with all these graphics and numbers. Dude, you've done a phenomenal job. You even got my guy David Hyde on the channel. That is like my bucket list.
Dude,
you've done great this year, man.
One-on-one with Dave Hyde for an hour was something I won't forget. I love him. Yeah, he's my favorite. But let's do some more of this. Let's post-game show tomorrow. Any news break this week, we're gonna have a GM show, all that stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for this fun season. There's plenty more to come, but for Countdown to Game Day and for our show on Curtis, this is our last preview show. We'll sign off until next year on the preview shows.
Yes, sir.
We will say, everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy the game. Catch us on the post-game show and all the action we got coming up. Fins up. Everybody stay healthy and Happy New Year.